Good morning, everybody. It's so good to be with you. Moments in the Word. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for your prayers yesterday. I reported the doctor went really well. He said it was recovery was doing really good. But I went from one wrapping to, as you see, another brace here. And I tell you, I got a whole new appreciation, folks, for folks that go through stuff like this. When I see somebody with a brace on now, I want to say, hey, what's the deal? What happened? But thank y'all for your prayers. I'm telling you, I'm learning a lot about patience. I'm finding out I'm not as patient as I thought I was. And I'm not praying for patience. I'm learning to have patience, but continue to pray for me if you will. I want to say thank you to my wonderful friends Scott and Karen Dampson. Scott made me this beautiful picture back here. If you notice, it's an outlay of North Carolina with GMM, Glen Mills Ministries, on it. Thank you, Brother Scott. That man is awesome. He's got some really great woodworking talents. I want to thank him and Karen. They're partners to the ministry, and we can't thank them enough. And thank all of our partners who help to make all these programs, as well as what we do, available. And so that, a lot of times we go to churches that cannot always pay but so much. And when our partners help us out, they help us with travel, they help us with room and board and all of that. So together we're getting it done. Thank y'all to all of our wonderful partners who help us do this. I want to talk to you about something today. You've heard this phrase in a way, and it's simply, the title is All Work and No Pray. All work and no pray. Now, most people know the phrase all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, which basically means that without time off, what happens is a person becomes bored, they become boring, and they mainly become unproductive. So, when you take someone who's a workaholic, they may be getting a lot of things done, but in a way they're unproductive because we all need a little time off. Even Jesus took the disciples away to a solitary place so they could rest and refresh, because they were doing so much ministering to the people. Now, in the spiritual realm, we know that in the physical realm, that all work and no play, no relaxation, not only makes you bored, it makes you unproductive. But now in the spiritual realm, let's look at this. All work and no pray. You see, sometimes we get so busy working for God, we don't stop and spend time with God. And that is a very dangerous thing to do, because it gets us out of focus. We become, as we said, spiritually bored. Come on now. We talked about that the other day, but it also makes us spiritually unproductive when it's all work and no pray. My friends, God wants us to spend time with Him. And a lot of times we're doing a lot of things that we don't have to do, because we're saying, well, I need to do this. I need to do it. Did we ask God, were we supposed to do that? The Lord told me one day you wouldn't have to do half as much if you would just spend time with me, and I'll tell you what I need for you to do. And see, then God said, and then you can take some time off and enjoy yourself. Now, godly works, listen to this, godly works are not our foundation, but prayerful encounters with God, which result in godly works. Let me say that again. Godly works are not our foundation. That's not our goal. That's not our focus. But instead, prayerful encounters with God, and the result of that's going to be godly works, but the right kind, the ones that He wants done. And a lot of times, if we're not careful, we're doing things we don't need to be doing. Now, in James, one of my favorite verses on prayer, in James 5:16, it says, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much, which means it has great power and it is very effective. So the effectual fervent prayer of wanting to spend time with God, fellowshipping with God, talking with God, and listening, my friends, can make us extremely productive in the works that we are supposed to be doing. Not all the works that we think we should be doing, but the exact works that we should be doing. Now, just as in the physical realm, time off, it renews, it refreshes the physical body and brain. In the sincere prayer time, what happens is it renews and refreshes the spirit and the mind. So physically, it's good to take a little time off. But in the spirit realm, that time in prayer, that time off from the works and in time with God also renews and it refreshes our mind. Now, I can promise you something today. Satan wants you so busy doing spiritual things that we don't spend time with God, who can reveal to us exactly what he wants done and how he wants it done, when he wants it done. Now, we might not always know why he wants it done, but my friend, it will be to somebody's good, especially ours, if we'll do it. But let me say that again. Satan wants us so busy doing spiritual things. I'm not talking about sin. I'm not talking about I'm talking about spiritual things. If Satan can't stop you, a lot of times he'll get behind you and push you and get you so busy that you burn out, you give up, you become spiritually bored, you become frustrated, when if we would have just stopped and spent time with the Father, he would have told us what we need to do. God, my friends, godly works, God's work does not become a burden. Jesus said, my burden is light, my yoke is easy. But if we will spend time with God and fellowship with him in prayer, then my friends, we're going to be very productive. We're going to be excited. We're going to be enthusiastic. Even when you're going through this, you can still keep grinning. You can keep smiling. You can keep knowing God's got a plan in all of this, and he's going to work it out to our good. I know he's going to work this to my good, and I know God is a faithful Father. So in the physical realm, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. But I want to tell you, in the spiritual realm, all godly work and no play also makes us extremely unproductive. So I want to encourage you today, don't let the devil get you so busy doing stuff that we don't spend time with God, who will tell us what we need to do, when we need to do it, and how we need to do it. And then it will be extremely productive. And you won't get frustrated. You won't get bored. You won't get aggravated. You'll be excited about what God has called you to do. Again, it's not about the works. It's about the encounter. And the byproduct of that is going to be the right godly works. Thank y'all again for your prayers. I do continue to lift us up with this. And we're believing God. Again, I'm not a very patient person. I am finding that out. But God is teaching me a lot through this. I'm spending a lot of time with him. And I know God is faithful. And again, thank you to all of our wonderful partners who help to make these programs and all the ministry that we do, everything from the office to being on the road, whatever we do, when you help support this ministry, God is crediting it to your account as well. The Apostle Paul said that it is credited to your account as you help support the work that God has called us together to do. God bless y'all. Have an awesome day. We'll be back with you soon.